Why, yes, it is. Amina Smith and Jay Harris with you for the hour. A huge football weekend is on the way, but how can it compare to what happened in the college football playoff?
I don't know.
Seriously, good stuff. Okay, we got upsets, blowouts, last-second wildness. 8 teams now down to the final 4. We're going to take you through what happened and what it all means.
Yeah, but the NFL takes over now. 2 more playoff berths left to be filled. A loser go-home game on Sunday night, which will lead to a lot of questions post-game for one of them. However, we have to start with 2 huge games on Saturday with playoff implications. The Panthers are currently 3-point underdogs as they look to clinch the NFC South, a spot they're accustomed to this season. The Bucs, meanwhile, have 1 win since the end of October. As for the night game, the Seahawks have been the best road team in the league in Mike McDonald's tenure. The Niners hope to not go back on the road this year as the #1 seed. They would clinch home field through the Super Bowl in Santa Clara.
All right, Amina, NFL analyst Mina Kimes and senior NFL writer Jeremy Fowler right here. Amina, I want to start with you. The Niners want home field advantage. What will it take for that to become reality tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy's going to have to do something he has been doing since he came back from his injury and has gotten healthy, which is make plays outside of its structure, extend time over 2.5 seconds. They drop from 2nd to 18th in success rate. Now, easier said than done. There's a chance Trent Williams, the Niners' stalwart left tackle, doesn't play in this game. And the first time these teams played back in week 1, the Seahawks 4-man rush got to Purdy on over 40% of dropbacks. They pressured him. This is a very, very good, very deep pass rush that does not have to blitz to get pressure. So it is going to be challenging for Purdy, even more so if Trent Williams doesn't play.
Yeah, he has not practiced this week, got a hamstring injury. He is questionable. Jeremy, to you. Sam Darnold coming up short for Minnesota last season, week 18, they lost the division title and the NFC's top seed to Detroit. What are you hearing about Darnold going into tomorrow?
Slowly becoming big game Sam. The Seahawks believe that his even keel nature is going to help him in these big games late. He had that breakthrough a few weeks ago against the Rams. That was big. He was struggling with the interceptions before that, made some clutch throws. I talked to somebody with the team who said, yeah, that probably meant a lot to him, but Sam would never say that because he's all about what's best for the team and letting the rest sort itself out. And so they would like to see him cut down on his turnovers a little bit. But as was told to me by somebody with the team, he's throwing with a lot of confidence. He's not second guessing anymore. So because of that, they want to find a balance. You know, they don't want to restrain him either. All
right, that's Seahawks, Niners. Jeremy, staying with you because the Bucs have a shot at the playoffs after losing 7 of their last 8 games. Where are Tampa Spirits going to tomorrow's battle with the Panthers?
Slowly upticking because I was told it's pretty bad there for a couple weeks, but on Wednesday in particular, they had a really spirited, trash-talking, fiery practice where guys were getting after it. I talked to some coaches there who said that was important.
The final weekend of the NFL's regular season kicks off Saturday, where the 1 seed will be decided in the NFC. Fresh off a 42, winner of this game wins the NFC West and earns a first-round bye in the postseason. So, RC, who needs this win more, Seahawks or the Niners?
It's the San Francisco 49ers to me, and the reason being is the Seahawks have the one thing that travels best on the road, and that's defense. And then you look at Mike McDonald and his record since becoming the Seahawks head coach. I mean, they're 7-1 this year, and this doesn't matter. This doesn't mean if it's the East Coast, they can't wake up and play a 1 o'clock game. If it's on the West Coast and now they're playing at 2:25 their time, it does not matter. This defense shows up. Mike McDonald has this team prepared. When you look at the San Francisco 49ers, you want the crowd behind you when your defense is on the field. You want to make it difficult for the opposing team's offense. You are a team that doesn't pressure. You are a team that doesn't turn the football over. You are a team that can't stop the run. None of those things says I want to go to somebody else's stadium where their offense is comfortable to try to play football and then put Brock Purdy and his team and his offense on the field with the crowd noise affecting the way that they do business. This offense is ultimately important to this team, and they need to be at home to see them succeed at a high level and to also find a way to affect opposing offenses against a defense with deficiencies.
You talk about ultimately important. Your words, not mine. It's ultimately important to make sure that Sam Darnold is in a position where he is as comfortable as he can be outside of anything else. So it doesn't matter how dominant your defense is. It doesn't matter how many opportunities the defense gives you. It doesn't matter, what you have done up until this point. If your trigger man cannot get it done, you have Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he's able to do what he's doing. But that reality of start to set in and say, okay, we got an explosive offense that's contingent on one thing: Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold is not comfortable, Sam Darnold will cost the Seattle Seahawks a deep playoff push. It's not to say that Sam Darnold is incompetent, because we've seen Sam Darnold really grow in the last 2 years, let alone this year. And if you would have asked the Minnesota Vikings, they wish they would have still had Sam Darnold. Hell, if you would have asked a lot of other teams if they would have rather had Sam Darnold, they would have rather to have Sam Darnold than their quarterback position right now. So the thing is, Sam Darnold is well and capable, but you need him to be as comfortable as possible, because he will have the biggest impact if he doesn't.
Well, they don't have much of a pass rush to speak of right now in San Francisco.
Yes.
And so you might have more time to get comfortable just based on what the other team lacks. I'm looking through the injury report for the 49ers right now. Trent Williams, questionable. Keon White, questionable. George Kittle, questionable. Ricky Pearsall, questionable. Upton Stout as well. So there's a lot. They're really injured right now. So I kind of understand where you're going with saying that they need it more. They need the rest more. What's the X factor here for the 49ers?
It's Christian McCaffrey.
Who, by the way, was cleared to play yesterday.
Yeah, but he was banged up in the last game. We saw him getting off of the ground slowly, fighting to get to the backfield. And they've been so dependent on Christian McCaffrey this entire season, along with Kyle Shanahan, in my opinion, being the coach of the year, because of much of like that team did. This team did the best job. There were 2 turnovers from Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy now, with the way that he scrambles and he improvises and trying to force balls into tight spaces, you're going to need Christian McCaffrey to be that balancing factor for 2 reasons. He's your best offensive player, and secondly, it keeps the Seattle Seahawks off of the field. And that's what you want to do to protect the defense that has been struggling, especially down the stretch of the season.
Well, when you start to say, X factors, we expect that from Christian McCaffrey. I mean, C-Mac, I had the opportunity to play with him. He came out of Stanford banged up, respectfully. He's a workhorse. We expect him to get off the ground slow. Hey, you give him a look, he's good to go. He's a person that you put the ball in his hands, and the more you give him the ball, the better options of good things happening for your team will happen. Well, I just mentioned it. Sam Darnold is the X factor for the Seattle Seahawks. Why? Because when you go back and you look at the Los Angeles Rams game, that was the tale of 2 different Sams. They started the game trying to avoid the inevitable. Hey, we're going to run the football. Hey, we're going to play behind play action. Hey, we're going to do certain things. We're going to try to mask or put mascara or lip liner on the overall issue that our team has, and that's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, when our quarterback comes out and responds the way he responds, now you start to see, okay, this team can be extremely dangerous, but it is contingent on which Sam Darnold shows up to play.
And that makes me think of like recent history. Last year, the loss to the Lions when he was with the Vikings at the end of the regular season, the loss in the first round of the playoffs, like a 2-game sample size that effectively determined his future was no longer going to be in Minnesota. And when you talk about those turnovers, 28 as a team, 20 of them have come from the quarterback. Is it that he needs this palate cleanser, so to speak, of having a good game, being on the winning team, going into the playoffs that matters most?
It's one of those things that the thing about Sam Darnold is he's extremely talented. As a former teammate, I saw that firsthand in practice when we were in Carolina. He can throw the ball as good as anybody will allow him to. He's shown the leadership capabilities. But the reality comes down to when the issues start to pile up and he throws an interception, and then he begins to throw another interception, or he makes a bad decision, and then he makes another bad decision.
Snowball.
Those are the things that can get him in trouble. And like you just said, Courtney, can snowball the issue into becoming a detrimental game impacting kind of turn of events.
The worst thing in the world is that we have all this technology. Because of that technology, we know that once in prime time, Sam Darnold said he saw ghosts. And so now when you go back to the first Rams game and you see 4 interceptions, you think to yourself, well, is he seeing those ghosts again? And then you watch him play against the Rams in the second game, and there's an interception in the slot that turns into a touchdown. He throws an interception deep down in the red zone that turns into points for the Los Angeles Rams, and all of those things start to replay. Sam Darnold has to get rid of history. Sam Darnold has to find a way to have a short, clean memory. And the only way to do that is by doing what Courtney said and cleansing your palate with an important win. Cleansing your palate with a great performance in a high-pressure situation. And there's no bigger one that he's been in since the last time he was in the big one than this one. This is the first opportunity to show people that he's trustworthy, to show people that they can win because of him. And in my opinion, if he does not do it, Courtney, in this game, the Seattle Seahawks have no chance of winning a championship.
First round bye is important. It gives you that week off until you get to the divisional playoffs, something that they certainly would like to have, both teams, one more injured than the other, but certainly Seattle Seahawks would like to have as well. All right. Straight ahead, there were a ton of quarterback performances in the quarterfinals of the CFP that were impressive.